Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We've got a special one for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back tomorrow with our weekly NFL live reaction of the early game starting at 10 a.m., Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight, though, we've got something special live from Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip. The third annual Las Vegas Grand Prix is going to happen just in a couple of moments. Literally, we're going to be starting a couple of storylines for this year's race. Of course, obviously, they race around the Las Vegas Strip. There is 50 laps. 50 laps. It should take a couple of hours. 50 laps, I tell you. It'll be a great time here in the entertainment capital of the world. So looking forward to it. So looking forward to seeing what happens. Lando Norris, who currently leads the Formula One race standings, he is pole positioning at number 1 tonight. All the way at the back, number 19, is Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis Hamilton, of course, finished last year number 2 behind George Russell. 2023, Max Verstappen won the first Las Vegas Grand Prix in this current last couple of years. Last year, George Russell won. Lewis Hamilton finished second. Lewis Hamilton will be in 19th, if you can believe it. Lewis Hamilton will be starting at the back of the track. Now, here's the whole storyline about this. There are 50 laps. They race around the Las Vegas Strip. They pass the Sphere. We're going to be offering commentary as we go along. Can Lando Norris, who currently leads the F1 racing standings, can he find a way to win tonight? He is pole position number 1. It's going to be a really interesting evening to see if we're going to get there. And they're just about to actually, we're going through the formation lap right now, and they're just about to start there. And it's just a really exciting time here in the entertainment capital world. The race is 100% sold out. They're showing it, but this is going to be a great time tonight. I'm so looking forward to watching. Let's see how it goes. And this is just a fun time in this regard. Thank you for being here, GW. Dolphins are on a break this week. They're on a break this week, but thanks for being here as always. Good luck with the Ravens tomorrow. And, we'll see how it goes. Listen, I think there is just, the Las Vegas entertainment capital of the world has become the sports capital of the world the last 7 or 8 years. How could anyone not be excited by the continued sports that this city has? And this is the third installment of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And obviously, we'll see how these 50 laps go. But can Lando Norris, who has had a great year so far, will he be able to continue this moving along? We're going to see in the next couple of hours how that all goes along. Of course, here tomorrow we'll be back for our live NFL reaction. Obviously, of course. And of course, we'll have our NFL review show tomorrow night at midnight Eastern time, 9 p.m. And also a special edition. We're going to have a special edition, of course, of the Thursday Thanksgiving. We'll be commenting on the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. So looking forward to all those kinds of things. Sit back and relax for 2 hours, of course, of racing commentary. And of course, as always, make sure you go over to the main channel. We got a bunch of great videos going out this week we had. And thank you so much, as always, for being here. Welcome to the entertainment capital world. I'm sure we're going to attract some race fans from all across the world for this evening's event. Looking forward to all of that. It's going to be an exciting one, no doubt about that. I'm going to reset something here for a moment, people, just before we begin here. See if I can just work on something here. Just hang on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. and gentlemen, and they're off to the races. They are off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an interesting one tonight for sure. No denying that. Going to keep it on here in the background. Already on lap one, we've got a scenario already going on. Here we go. They race around the Las Vegas Strip, ladies and gentlemen. You know, in recent years, obviously, Las Vegas has been looking for ways to expand. Fortunately not, but we'll be able to offer our opinions as we go along, obviously. You know the broadcast rules. But point be told, they're actually racing, literally just a couple minutes from here. Max Verstappen is already in first place. George Russell is in second. Lando Norris has fallen to third after lap one currently here. There seems to be a lot of there seems to already be that yellow flag, obviously, for the track hazards. And, cars don't start well sometimes, and that's unfortunate. But they're moving along here. Be right back, ladies. Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the early technical difficulties here. They're in the early laps here. Formula One racing, Las Vegas Grand Prix currently going on again. Main storylines here are: can Lando Norris win his first Las Vegas Grand Prix. He's currently in the leaderboard in the racing standings. And thank you so much, as always, all for being here tonight. I really appreciate that. Three laps as we move forward here. Now, well, it seems like it's a long race. It's actually a really quick one, and you'll be able to see how fast this moves along here. Obviously, Max Verstappen, as we know, won in 2023. Currently in second place is George Russell. George Russell, of course, these are the two winners of the last two Las Vegas Grand Prix. Verstappen 2023, Russell 2024. Lando Norris is currently in third place right now at the given moment. Now we sit right there. Verstappen about 1 second. Russell. They're currently on lap 4 already. Again, the experience of just watching this, even if you're not a racing fan, is that you're able to see some of the great parts of the Las Vegas Strip, of course, the Sphere again, and the fact that they closed down the Las Vegas Boulevard, parts of it, for 3 days to show this race is just absolutely incredible. Interesting enough, I live, maybe about 1.5 miles away from all this, and you can't hear them, though they're loud cars and they're going at some points on this track 200 miles an hour. You cannot hear them, if you can believe that. Lewis Hamilton, if you can believe it, who started in this race in 19th position, has moved all the way up to 12th already. Interesting enough. Lewis finished second last year. He made the podium last year. Lewis Hamilton, of course, a longtime legendary F1 driver, has moved all the way from last place when he started this race all the way up to 12th already. Christianic C1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world. We've gotten our technical difficulties sorted out here. We're watching the Las Vegas Grand Prix. They're already on lap 5 here. Currently, Max Verstappen is in first place. Second place, George Russell. Third place, Lando Norris. Lando Norris, of course, leading the Formula One Racing's leaderboard standings going into this race. There's only a couple of races left, obviously, and so that's where we currently are right now. Other net gains since we've started the first 5 laps. Alex Albon has moved all the way up from 16th place. Started polling at 16th. He's now in 13th place. He's moved up 3 positions since these 5 laps have taken place. We've got 45 laps left here in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Very early on, obviously. The interesting thing about the track is there's just a couple of turns where, you've got to go around those turns at a slower speed as you're making those turns. They're kind of over by the Treasure Island kind of area over on that end of the strip, which is kind of center strip. That's one of the turns. I did the F1 racing simulator last Sunday, and going through the track on the strip while driving in a Formula One racing simulator, I mean, it's really tough. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like, obviously, going more than 100 miles an hour around a track where you have to make a turn. And if you don't make that turn, you make that 1 second, you're going to hit a wall. You're absolutely going to hit a wall. It's pretty crazy in that regard. Current positions after lap 6, Max Verstappen still in first place, George Russell in second place, Lando Norris currently in third place. That's where we currently are right now, looking at that front. So, also, Fernando Alonso has fallen from 7th place to 9th place. So he's behind actually where his polling position was. But crazy enough, I mean, let's see, looking at the leaderboard right now, can Lewis Hamilton somehow get to the pole again, all the way from 19th place? Could he get all the way up to 3rd? Obviously, that's going to be a tough hill to climb, but he's already jumped 7 spots in 6 laps, which is pretty freaking incredible on a small track like this here on the Las Vegas Strip. They're just passing, the leaders are just passing. Here's Las Vegas right now, all the way up to Caesars. Then they're at Center Strip right now, going around the turn here. But Max Verstappen currently in the lead again, the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're here tonight, Formula One Racing, Las Vegas Grand Prix. Thank you so much for all of you who are joining us. We have gotten the technical issues solved here. We are on lap 6 already of this thing, if you can believe it. Lap 7 now we're going into. Max Verstappen still, of course, in the lead by about a half second. Lando Norris is about 2.4 seconds right behind them. They are right there. So, you know, it looks just like the big dogs right now in the early race are going to be the ones who are going to be here up in front. Russell last year, I think, impressed everybody with his victory in the second annual Las Vegas Grand Prix. So I'm really interested to see, could George Russell repeat this, or is it going to be one of those cases and scenarios where, you know, again, I'd love to see, I mean, could we see Lando Norris become the become the first one? Could we have 3 different Formula One racing winners in the first 3 years? It's going to be very interesting to see what brings us. A lot can happen now between, of course, obviously, lap 1 and lap 50. Just to look at some of the rest of the leaderboard while we're sitting here. Taking a look. Pretty holding steady right now. So we get into lap 8 here. And of course, as you know, with these races, it all depends on when you go in for your pit stop and all that other stuff. So we have to everything is, you know, everything is calculated. Every race team has their own different strategy right here. But you're apparently seeing early on, the question is that, like, you know, you're Max Verstappen, you're Judge Russell, and you're Lando Norris. What's going to matter most here watching this is, where do you pull? Where do you take that pit stop? You know, when you're leading the race, when do you want to give up that lead? So some want to do it earlier, some want to do it later. You know, the quality is obviously is to finish up the race and try to be in first place. So we shall see. Christian XC1 review. We're watching the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're currently in lap 9. They do 50 laps to like about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The last couple of days, we were down there on Thursday night watching some of the early practice laps, and, you know, there is no experience like the Las Vegas Grand Prix on the Las Vegas Strip. You know, who would have ever thought about this, you know, 5 or 10 years ago, watching this, that the Las Vegas Strip would be shut down for, you know, the biggest racing sport in the entire world, which of course obviously is an international sport. But, you know, you got the big dogs at the top. Max Verstappen 1, George Russell 2, Lando Norris currently in 3rd. You know, I think this is what most people expected probably early on. You know, Lando has had a absolute, you know, amazing season so far, and I think a lot of people think that he'll probably end up winning the F1 crown. You know, would it be interesting to see, though, if he could win the Las Vegas Grand Prix tonight? Again, 2023 winner Verstappen, 2024 winner Russell. You know, that's where we currently are right now. It'll be very interesting to see. Again, when do these guys decide to take their pit stop? When do they decide to do that? and you got Lewis Hamilton back there already moved up 7 positions from number 19 to 12. Lewis Hamilton again finished last year second. He finished in second place at last year's Las Vegas Grand Prix. So we're currently now on lap 10. Same group, still moving along, and the reality of what it comes down to is that obviously crashes do happen in these things. So, the leaderboard can change in an instant, can absolutely change in an instant. So far in the first 10 laps, 1 minute 36 seconds for Max Verstappen. That is the fastest lap so far in the first 10 laps of the Las Vegas Grand Prix here. Christianic C1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're doing live reaction. I'm watching in real time here the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Thank you so much for everybody who's in the room and who's joining today. Again, always, we'll be back tomorrow with our usual NFL Live at the usual time as always also. Kimi Antonelli, who started in this race 17th, has moved up to 15th. So he's moved up 2 positions as far as drivers who have gained in the first 10 laps right here. But, they're showing different mile projections. Like literally these guys are getting over 200 miles on the Las Vegas Strip right now as they pass the Bellagio and Paris, Las Vegas and Aria and the Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino as they make that turn. That's the tough turn right there, is when you're turning past right there, that Planet Hollywood, and then you're going to go east of the Las Vegas Strip, and then you're heading around the other side to the back end of the Las Vegas Strip. That is the real tough turn on that track. And if you do not make that turn at the right time, you could go into the wall. Obviously, these are the greatest drivers in the world, and they've been on this track a couple of times already, but this is not an easy course setup for sure. And it's a very narrow one at that when you're making those turns. So they obviously know what they're doing, but not an easy simulator. If you're driving that simulator, you're not a traditional driver, easy to go into the wall, just easy enough. So, and obviously they have their practice laps, because they shut down the strip for Thursday, Friday, and today, Saturday, but still not an easy scenario going around this track. Very fun, shows off the best of Las Vegas. We're currently on lap 11 right now. Max Verstappen still in the lead. George Russell second, and Lando Norris is third right now as they go down. They're passing again Paris, Las Vegas, and the Bellagio, making that turn. Average lap time, fastest lap time is about 90 seconds. So you can understand where that is. Now in the Las Vegas, in the Live Drivers Championship, Lando Norris is currently, in first place, obviously, and trying to hold off, of course, Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen for the title itself in the Drivers Championship. But we're pretty much seeing so far, we haven't really seen any crazy lap changes since the beginning here. Currently now on lap 12, it's pretty much stayed pretty steady. No real lap changes or pole positions changing at this moment in time, but I expect we're going to see more of that based on historically watching the Grand Prix the last couple of years. I expect that we'll see mid-race to about 60%, seeing some interesting action on pole positions changing. But right now, we're pretty much holding steady with the top 3. Again, Max Verstappen, George Russell, and Lando Norris are all here in the top 3. 2 of the 3 are former Las Vegas Grand Prix winners, and of course, the other is the current F1 Drivers Championship leader in the point standings for the entire Formula 1 year. Christianic C1 review, we're currently on lap 12 right now. Got 38 to go. So that's where we are currently right now at this given moment in time. Isaac Hadjar, who started 8th for Team Racing Bulls, has moved up to position 5 since lap 1. That's one of the other net gains so far. where we currently are. Amazingly, we haven't seen any, besides before the beginning of the race at the beginning, we haven't seen any major collisions yet. So we're now through a clean 12 laps of that, which is really good. So far, no major crashes. So we'll see if we are able to get through this one without a major class. Lando Norris now takes the lead with the fastest lap of 1 minute and 36 seconds and 14 tenths, I believe that is. So that's where we currently are right now. So, you know, currently on lap 13. Some of the coolest things are also being able to see them in the cars, see the drivers in the cars as they make the turns. I mean, you know, it just the cams are unbelievable in these drivers' cars. It's like you experience, like you imagine that you're actually in the car with the driver at this moment in time. It's pretty insane, honestly, to tell you the truth. It's pretty insane. Now we're currently on lap 14. New leader, Kimi Antonelli, 1 minute and 35 seconds for the fastest lap on the track right now. Currently in 13th place, of all things, but the fastest lap, 1 minute and 35 seconds from Kimi Antonelli, who is currently in 13th. "36 laps to go." We are about getting close to 1/3 there, basically. "15 laps now." Max Verstappen still in the lead, George Russell second, Lando Norris third. The top three have pretty much held steady since lap 1. Nothing major yet. Again, it will all depend on when these drivers will take their pit stops. That will be the main thing. Oscar Piastri is currently in 7th. He is in 2nd place currently in the Formula One racing standings. Lap 16 now. I think we're going to get I know that I'm early on in this and we're only 1/3 of the way there, but I think we're going to get a really clean race, hopefully. I don't think we're going to see any major car crashes in this one. Maybe because the drivers have been on this track for a couple years now, so there aren't really any surprises. The first year, surprises. Second year, a little surprises. But maybe because we're now in year 3, not so many surprises, perhaps, with that. Maybe not that many surprises because we're at a moment where we're at a moment where where they're just used to it and there's experience here, obviously. I think that probably makes a lot of sense. That's what I think anyway. They're absolutely burning some rubber on that track, though, as always. You can just see the sparks from the bottom of the cars light up the street. We're now on lap 17. Same 3 still winning. Max Verstappen, Lance Russell, Lando Norris. Nothing changing. Lewis Hamilton still sitting back there in 12th place. Lewis Hamilton has moved up to 11th. Can Lewis Hamilton again crack the top 3? That would be absolutely incredible if that were the case. Now, obviously, again, anything can happen. There can be some crashes along the way. It all depends on when you take your pit stop, as we always talk about. But right now, moving up from basically 19th, dead last, to 11th, already moved up half of the way. Pretty incredible efforts. Of course, Hamilton's one of the greatest drivers in the world, but still a great effort. He said in his press conference yesterday that it couldn't get any worse than where he is right now. The fact that he's moved up from 19th at the beginning of the poll to 11th place already after 17 laps is pretty incredible. But again, one of the greatest drivers in the world. Christianic C1 review. We're talking Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're watching it down here with you guys, giving our thoughts on this in real time. Max Verstappen, George Russell, Lando Norris are your top 3 right now after 17 laps. There are 50 laps in the Las Vegas Grand Prix as they race around the Las Vegas Strip. This is the 3rd annual Las Vegas Grand Prix, as we know. Some of the other notes of some other notable drivers here. Nico Hülkenberg is up to 8th place. He started this race in 11th. He has moved up 3 spots since the beginning of this race. Nico Hülkenberg for Team Sauber has moved up to 8th place in the standings here. Lewis Hamilton is now up to 10th place. A lot of changes, obviously, going on, different pit stops and all the such. But Lewis Hamilton is in the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. 18 laps in, still got 32 more to go. But Lewis Hamilton is in 10th place, of all things. I don't think there were a lot of expectations. I mean, if he would have made the top 12, I would have been impressed, given how his Formula One season has gone with this new racing team and with the fact that there were just no expectations for him, and the car is not the kind of car he's used to driving. So the fact that he has moved all the way up from 19th to 10th, there are already 2 drivers out of the race. Pretty incredible stuff so far. So Russell has taken his pit stop, so he's going to fall down to 7th because he's taken his pit stop early. Lando Norris will then move up to 2nd place. So we've got now Max Verstappen and Lando Norris in the top 2. George Russell falls to 7th, but he now will be on the track probably for the rest of the race, obviously. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all drivers have to pit at least one time, if I'm not mistaken. I think those are the F1 rules. Watching the Las Vegas Strip, you're seeing currently seeing the Formula One racing movie be advertised, and a helmet of Sonny, of course, played by Brad Pitt. The movie will be on Amazon Prime Video starting on December 12th for the world to see. Current updated standings: Max Verstappen 1, Lando Norris 2, George Russell falls to 7th, Lewis Hamilton is in 10th currently. Could Hamilton again crack the top 3? Be pretty incredible, be a highlight for his season here in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. You know, some drivers just, in general, they just do better at certain tracks for whatever reason. It's kind of like golf. There is really no science to it, but some drivers just do better at other tracks compared to others. This year's Las Vegas Grand Prix started at 8 p.m., an earlier start than past years. Good question is that when Verstappen will choose to pit here, obviously. That's basically what we're looking at right now, of course. Verstappen representing Red Bull, currently in first. I think the broadcast is most surprised by Lewis Hamilton at this given moment. Obviously, he's one of the fan favorites, but I think they're very surprised by the fact that he is already in 10th, and he's right behind behind the 9th driver, literally right on his edge there. So 20 laps in, 30 laps to go in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Christianic C1 review will be here till the end of it, giving you our thoughts live here in real time. Thank you to everyone who's joined the room from across the world. Formula One racing is a world sport, ladies and gentlemen. It is a world sport. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight and watching the special edition of C1 Review Live on Saturday with us as we comment on the Las Vegas Grand Prix and give you our thoughts in real time as we watch the race here. Because why wouldn't we? We love Las Vegas. We love the entertainment capital of the world. We love sports. And happy holidays to everybody, and early happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Thanksgiving's on Thursday. We'll be here for that as well when we talk Packers and Lions. We're going to do football on Thanksgiving. There's nothing like it. But see us tomorrow again, 10 a.m. Las Vegas time, 9 p.m. Las Vegas time. We'll be doing both of our NFL shows tomorrow as well. Back to the racing. Max Verstappen currently in first. Lando Norris currently in second. Lap 20 here at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. George Russell still in 7th because of his pit time. Lewis Hamilton currently in 10th place. That's where we currently are at the given moment in time, looking at this racetrack. The cams are just so amazing again in the driver boxes, though. They truly are amazing. Lewis Hamilton has moved up to 9th, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from 19th to 9th. Lewis Hamilton is currently in 9th place now. The question will be, when will he decide to pit? He is not pit yet, I believe. So, again, every driver, you know, they make different chances. That's going to move Hamilton up to 8th because another driver just pitted. You know, you get in there for 10 seconds, you change those tires, you get out as quickly as you can, you get back on that track. You do not want to be in there for more than a couple of seconds when you're pitting, because obviously when you pit matters. Obviously, all drivers have to pit at least one time. Hamilton's going to move up to 8th. George Russell has moved up to 6th. Russell already took his pit. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris at the top of the poll right here, right now, 1 and 2. That's where we currently are right now. Clean race so far. No major accidents have happened yet. We are about halfway through as we're currently on lap 21. Carlos Sainz is currently in 3rd place. Charles Leclerc is in 4th. So far, the fastest lap on the track. New update, Max Verstappen, 1 minute and 35 seconds, 0.574 is the fastest one so far. The pit stops are incredible too, I have to tell you. Even if you're not a racing fan, just the whole mechanics and the team planning and the game planning of when do you pit, when is the correct time. It's just a very incredible thing, honestly. It's all strategy, obviously, but one thing goes wrong with your car for a couple of seconds, it can cost you the pole position at the end of the race when the final standings come out for one of these things. Everything just has to go perfectly for you to absolutely win one of these races or even get on the pole and get in the top three, so a lot of things go into this, for sure. And that's what I like about the F1 racing. I'm, mostly a football and basketball guy. Everybody knows that. But the reality is that it's really a fascinating, strategic way. You're racing some of the fastest cars, some of the most expensive cars in the world, some of the most famous brands in automaking, obviously, and racing in general. But the reality is that, the strategy of being able to find a way to have a perfect racing team, when to pit, when to get back on the track, it all matters. And obviously anything can go wrong. 3 seconds you don't pay attention and you'll be, your car will be wrecked, and that'll be it till next week. And the cost that when you wreck a car is a lot of money, obviously, as well, obviously. So Max Verstappen currently in first, Leclerc in second. Russell has moved up to 3. George Russell's 3. Lando Norris is in 4th right now. So that's where we currently are at this given moment in time. We're about halfway through. We're 23 laps in to the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're giving you our live thoughts as we watch the Formula One Racing Las Vegas Grand Prix in real time. We'll be back tomorrow, NFL Live, 10 a.m. Las Vegas time again. Recap show 9 p.m. Thank you so much for everyone who's here, who's joining us this evening. We really greatly appreciate your visitation wherever you are in the world. I think also what's fun about this is it draws a lot of people into Las Vegas that may not have come otherwise. Formula One racing is a high roller sport. It's a whale sport for sure, but it's a world sport. A lot of people watch the Drive to Survive Netflix series across the world, and they've become fans over the last couple of years. The merchandise, by the way, if you ever look at the Formula One racing merchandise, beyond expensive as well. Beyond expensive and great quality stuff, but you have to be a diehard to be a fan of Formula One racing. Current leaderboard: Max Verstappen, the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner, is first after 24 laps, and in second place currently is Charles Leclerc for Ferrari. He started 9th. He's currently in second. George Russell is in 3rd right now. Lando Norris is in 4th. The Orange C1 review cat is here. And Lewis Hamilton, who I believe has not taken his pit yet, is currently in 6th place, if you can believe that. So just pretty incredible. Lewis Hamilton moving all the way up from 19th into 6th place. We are about halfway through the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We are 24 laps in right now. Max Verstappen currently in the lead, the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner. The angles of the Las Vegas Strip are fun to watch too, as they pass Treasure Island and the Bellagio and Paris and Caesar's Palace, of course. It's just fun seeing them, race down the strip, obviously. Obviously, the Las Vegas Strip, puts all these different stands up along the strip. People can pay, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to watch the race at different corners on the racetrack itself. So it's always very incredible to see the setup. The setup takes a couple of weeks, obviously, but I think they've got it down now, obviously, after doing this for for 3 consecutive years. I think they've absolutely got this down. Lewis Hamilton has moved up to 5th as Charles Leclerc has pitted. That will take him down to 8th place from the top 5. Currently, we've got Max Verstappen 1, George Russell 2, and Lando Norris are currently in 3rd. Lewis Hamilton is all the way up to 5th place. Pretty incredible stuff at this given moment. We're halfway through the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Max Verstappen in 1st place right now. George Russell, 2. Those are your 2 former Las Vegas Grand Prix 2023 and 2024 winners. Lando Norris is currently in 3rd place. I think if I were sitting in those stands, I'd want to be in front of the Sphere, or I'd want to be by the Bellagio. That Bellagio track is cool because they're racing straight down from that area. I think those are the 2 areas I'd probably want to be, besides, over by where the finish line is, which is, the back end of the Las Vegas Strip, obviously, which is the east side. So Max Verstappen is going to take his pit now. Hamilton has not taken his pit. Still, of course, a bunch of the other ones have already. Let's see what this does to the positioning. I don't think Verstappen's going to lose much here after pitting. Let's see. We'll figure that out in a minute with the new standings. Lap 26, it doesn't seem like Verstappen has lost a lot, that he's still in 1st place even with that pit. Question is that when will Lewis Hamilton pit? That is going to be very key for him. I don't know if he's just going to try to race it to the end here, given that he's netted 14 positions in this race. George Russell, of course, currently in 2nd still. Verstappen currently 1st. "24 laps to go in the Las Vegas Grand Prix." Christian XT1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. I have to say it's faster than football, that's for sure. We won't even be at the halftime of a game by the time this thing will be over. They also passed the Flamingo on the way down, of course. But it's just fun watching them, drive down the center of the strip. I mean, that's the straight drive until they get into the turns, obviously, as you get down to like where Paris and Planet Hollywood is, and then of course they turn east and go to the backside of the Las Vegas Strip. That's really fun. Lap 27, Max Verstappen 1st, George Russell 2nd, Lando Norris 3rd. Lewis Hamilton is currently in 5th place. He's currently in 5th place, ladies and gentlemen. Nico Hülkenberg is in 4th. Hulkenberg, excuse me, is in 4th. The aerial shots from the broadcast are quite impressive as well, if you've got this on with me. Currently on, can currently watch it on the network, on the big sports network, on cable. Fastest lap now goes to Alexander Albon, 1 minute and 35 seconds, .184. He is the new lap leader. Currently in last place, unfortunately, though. Oscar Piastri is Piastri. Oscar Austria, excuse me, is currently in 7th place. Lewis Hamilton in 5th. Still, Max Verstappen at the top. George Russell's in 2nd. .28 laps, 22 to go. 22 to go in the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix. We'll be here to the end of it. Lando Norris in 3rd. We're back to the original 3, even after all the different pit stops so far. Verstappen 1, George Russell 2, Lando Norris 3. We've got 21 laps left in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The biggest story right now to me is Lewis Hamilton, who started this race in 19th place, is all the way up to 5th place, a net of 14 positions in the race things here from the race polls from the beginning of this race back at lap 1. We have got 20 laps remaining, but Hamilton has not yet taken his pit stop. So that is going to be key here. How long will he continue to race until he decides to take his pit stop will be the big question here. Currently in 5th place. If I were him, I'd probably be taking that quite soon. The pit window, the hard pit windows are between laps 27 to 33, the broadcast is saying down here. So again, I imagine within the next couple of laps, Lewis Hamilton will take his pit stop, and we'll see what that does to his situation, but he'll be on the track then until the end of the race. We're at lap 30 already. We got 20 laps remaining in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, George Russell, Lando Norris currently top 3. Lewis Hamilton, the biggest story of this race so far, in 5th place. Can he find a way to crack the top 3 again? He finished 2nd last year at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, one of the most popular drivers in all Formula One racing with a new team. And Hamilton has taken his pit stop at lap 30. We shall see how far this makes him fall. It's going to take him all the way back to 10th place on that pit. So there will be a loss of 5 positions. However, he'll be on the track now for the rest of the race. Will he be able to find a way to get in the top 3? He would have to get back into 7 positions. But the reality is he's now out there for the rest of the race. There are some other drivers who have yet to take their pit stop again. Most of them are taking them by lap 33. Jay-Z and Beyonce are there rooting him on tonight, actually. They're here in Las Vegas for the races, among a bunch of other celebrities. Ben Affleck is also here in the house. Gordon Ramsay is here for the races. They draw all these different celebrities. This is absolutely, again, a whale sport, a high roller sport. Celebrities across the world have gotten into the racing. Obviously, F1 the movie did have a big impact on that this year. Also, the Netflix series Drive to Survive. But a lot of more people have become fans of the F1. Of course, the merchandise, the jackets, all those things. If there was any kind of sports fashion statement you'd want to make, you'd be wearing an F1 jacket, of course. Lap 31 currently, Max Verstappen first, George Russell second. The 2 winners of the 2023-2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Lando Norris currently in 4th. Lewis Hamilton currently back in 10th after taking his pit position, but he'll be on the racetrack now as long as he doesn't wreck his car for the next 19 laps. Can he get to the top 3 again? He finished 2nd in last year's Las Vegas Grand Prix. We shall see about that. Oscar Piastri now currently has the fastest lap of 1:34.895. He is the new fastest lap leader to 31 laps here at the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix. We've got 19 to go as they race around the Las Vegas Strip currently. You know, in 2023, it was kind of a far-gone conclusion that Max Verstappen would probably win that race, and he absolutely did. But we're now at a point now where, you know, last year George Russell surprised everybody. Russell moves up to second, of course. He's been in second. And Lando Norris, of course, is the all-around F1 points leader for the season. So you've got the big boys again at the top. You've got the big boys and you've got everybody else so far. So this is pretty normal for the Formula One racing standings so far, the first 31 laps here. However, there are absolutely any surprises can happen. One car crash can take out a couple of drivers, and this leaderboard can change in an instant. However, there have been no major wrecks so far in the first 32 laps of this year's Las Vegas Grand Prix, which again, I think is because they're just used to racing on this track. You know, the first year there were some accidents. There was a little fun last year, but I think they're just so used to where the turns are now that, you know, these are the best drivers again in the world, and they're just gonna, they know what they have to do, and they know where those tough turns are. You know, once you pass the Planet Hollywood and you're going east, that's really the hardest turn, I think, on the track, though, overall. So, you know, maybe next year they're going to have to change it up a little bit. Maybe they can find a way to you know, put in some other different turns on the Las Vegas Boulevard. We're through 32 laps of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Again, we're now like 2/3 through. Max Verstappen 1, George Russell 2. Lando Norris is currently in 3rd. Lewis Hamilton holding tight back there in 10th. Can Lewis Hamilton find a way again to crack the top 3? We shall see. $17 laps to go. Same 3 tops. Verstappen, Russell, and Norris. I think we're going to finish this probably in about 80 minutes. The rate that they're going right now. We got 17 laps. Get this race done this year in about 80 minutes. The way that these guys are going. Usually lasts about 90 minutes, but there has just been no major accidents so far, so there's nothing to really delay. There haven't been restarts. So, you know, as long as there's no major accidents, we're probably going to get this thing done this year in about 80 minutes. All this preparation for an 80-minute race, you know, weeks and months of planning for Formula One racing, Las Vegas Grand Prix on the Las Vegas Strip. But, you know, it's the funnest 80 minutes of the year on the Las Vegas Boulevard. There's no denying that. And, of course, the fastest. I mean, again, some of these drivers are going over 200 miles per hour on some of these turns here. Max Verstappen 1, George Russell 2, Lando Norris 3. We can currently continue to have the same leaderboard here throughout, pretty much, except for a couple of the pit stops where the lap changes change the leaderboard. But for the most part, the big boys are at the top of the leaderboard, which, again, not surprising, I guess. You got the top 2 of the guys who've won the 2023 and 2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Verstappen and then George Russell in second. And the thing about Formula One racing is that they're much like football and everything else. There are people who are haters. There are people who are big fans of different drivers. Certain people like different cars, obviously, and different models of cars. So arguments about what's the fastest cars in the world, you know, all those kinds of things, you know, Ferrari, Mercedes, all these kinds of things. And so that's what makes it fun if you're a true racing fan. Obviously, we've gotten more into it over the years since they started the race in Las Vegas. But they're racing down now. They're over by the Palazzo and the Venetian. The leaders are Max Verstappen, George Russell, Lando Norris, top three. Nothing, again, no new lap changes. Surprise, Lewis Hamilton's still back there in 10th position after his pit stop. The argument could be made that maybe Lewis Hamilton should have made that pit stop earlier if he doesn't get into the top five again, or maybe the top three. But we'll see as they move down the race here. Currently, 16 laps to go. We're on lap 34 in the 2025 edition of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Lando Norris has now taken second place away from George Russell as we head to lap 35. Verstappen still in first, but Lando Norris, who is, again, the Formula One Racing's overall points leader standings for the entire year, just passed George Russell, and now he has an opportunity to now chase Max Verstappen. Could Lando Norris get first place here? That would be close to a ceiling on the overall season F1 championship if he were able to do that. We shall see in the next 15 laps, but currently Max Verstappen leading everybody. Lando Norris now currently in second place. George Russell's in third place. And Oscar Piastri is back there in fifth place, who is in second place currently in the Formula One Racing overall standings leaderboard. 15 laps to go in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. I know there are F1 fans who are just waking up, in Europe, in the Middle East, in South America, and Africa, who are watching this now here in Las Vegas. It's only 9 o'clock. We just passed 9 o'clock here in the entertainment capital of the world. It's midnight Eastern time. Welcome Sunday morning on the East Coast. Still Saturday evening here in Las Vegas. College football is going on, and they're racing currently on the Las Vegas Strip with the third annual Las Vegas Grand Prix Formula One Racing. Lap 36, Max Verstappen leading, Lando Norris, George Russell in third right now. That's your top three. Lewis Hamilton still in 10th place. Hasn't moved up since his pit around lap 30. We are on lap 36. There's only 14 more laps to go. It'll be very interesting to see what the strategies are here for the drivers as we get to the final 13 laps or so here. Celebrities across the world have joined us here in Las Vegas. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Ben Affleck, Gordon Ramsay, among the others who are here this year for this year's Formula One Racing Las Vegas Grand Prix. We are on the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it looks like this thing is going to finish in about 80 minutes, which might be the fastest, by the way, Las Vegas Grand Prix we've had of the 3 years. And again, I just think it's because the drivers are so used to the track for the last 2 years. I don't think that there's any surprises by the turns. Again, an accident can happen at any minute in time. Someone could lose a tire, someone's engine, something can happen to their engine or transmission. So, it's been clean so far through these 36 laps, but there's no guarantee they're going to finish that way. But Max Verstappen, the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner, has basically led throughout for the most part, and he is looking at trying to get back into the discussion of being the Formula One Racing champion, overall points champion right now. So we'll see about that. We're on lap 37 now. We got 13 to go. They just passed the finish line. They're passing where you finish the race, moving on to the next lap here. Some of the drivers. Again, what car do you have? Who is your race team? That's really what it comes down to. Everyone's got to be on the same page if you're going to win one of these races. obviously, if you watched F1 the movie this year, you saw that whole point. But that's what really makes the whole thing interesting. Besides how fast that these guys go on these tracks, the fact is that you've got to have a team in place to make it happen. Max Verstappen still won. Lando Norris 2, George Russell 3. That is your top three right now. Oscar Piastri is in 5th place still at the moment in time. In 4th place, silently, who's moved up. Kimi Antonelli, who was in 17th place, is in 4th currently. He's had a net of 13. Lewis Hamilton, a net of 9 so far positions in this race. So we've got 12 laps left. In this, and then these drivers are going to go party, obviously, probably at the Las Vegas nightclubs for their celebration parties afterwards, their after parties. There's always a party in Vegas. 12 laps left. It's going to take quite an accomplishment for one of these drivers to knock off Verstappen here. Does Lando Norris have the ability? We're going to see in a very short period of time here, probably in the next 15 minutes or so. Can Lando Norris overtake Max Verstappen? That's the big storyline we have right now here in this race. They're passing the sphere, which is really fun, I think. That's one of the fun parts on the track also. There's a couple of turns by the sphere where they go up and down. Kimi Antonelli, 4th place, net of 13 pole positions. If he got in the top 3, that'd be quite a day for him, that's for sure also. Starting all the way back in 17th place and finishing in the top 3 and making the podium, that would be something for him, obviously, as well. We're currently on lap 39. Same order. Max Verstappen 1, Lando Norris 2, George Russell 3. Lewis Hamilton is still in 10th. Getting here to the final 10 laps. Verstappen 1, Lando Norris 2, George Russell 3. The top 3 remain the same here as we get to the final 10 laps of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Max Verstappen currently with the fastest lap now, again, 1 minute and 34 seconds. 94 seconds around the Las Vegas Strip. Pretty incredible stuff. Can you imagine 190 miles an hour zooming around the Las Vegas Strip from the west side to the east side to center strip in between? Just, this is why people love this stuff, and they pay thousands of dollars to sit in these seats and watch this race, even if it's only going to be about 80 minutes this year. But Max Verstappen seems to have command so far. Storyline is going to be, can Lando Norris find a way? Can he find a way to move up this leaderboard here? 41. We got 9 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done here in the third Las Vegas Grand Prix. Chris Yannick, C1 Review, covering Las Vegas and the world. We're watching in real time with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate that. We're watching the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix because it's right near our house. We love the Strip. We love anything sports in the new sports capital of the world. So we're here with you, giving live thoughts and commentary. Storylines today so far: Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell, the 3 best maybe drivers currently in Formula One racing at the top of the leaderboard. Lewis Hamilton has moved up from 17th, 18th to 10th currently. Surprise of the day right there. And the other surprise, number 17, Kimi Antonelli, 17th all the way up in 4th place. Can he get the top 3? Can he crack the podium? Interesting to note they're showing the statistics on the battery remaining. Kimi Antonelli only has 20% left of his battery. Will he be able to get there and get through those 50 laps? We shall see. He's currently in 4th. Piastri has about 30% left in his battery availability. So, you burn these cars obviously going so fast. That's why they have to pit at least once. There's no way you can make it through one of these races without pitting at least one time. Lap 42, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell, top 3 here at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We have 8 laps to go here. Chris Yannick, C1 Review, covering Las Vegas and the world. We're watching it with you in real time. And thank you for joining us this evening for this special edition of C1 Review Live. Again, we're going to do NFL Live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Las Vegas time, then 9 p.m. for the review show. We'll see you 10 a.m. Thursday, Thanksgiving, for a special edition of C1 Review Las Vegas live reaction for the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions as well. So, got a busy week of YouTube lives for you. Lots of videos on the main channel. Morgan Fairchild, actress, Max Pond, Michael Mack talking about luxury, layaway, all that good stuff. And of course, we do our weekly college football segment with Lane Fobbs. Every Wednesday night we drop that. Lane is currently away in Spain, actually, I believe, enjoying a wedding, I believe, with his wife, a friend of a wedding. Congratulations to him. Enjoy your time in Spain, Lane. Hopefully you make it back for Wednesday night for our weekly college football thing. Sam Houston did not win today, unfortunately for him. Lap 43 of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Max Verstappen 1, Lando Norris 2, George Russell 3. Lewis Hamilton is holding steady in 10th place. Doesn't look like he's going to get back to the top 5. There's just not enough time left here. They're on lap 43. We have 7 laps left in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. They're coming down the stretch here. Coming down the stretch. Oscar Piastri is currently in 5th. The top 5 have pretty much stayed the same for the last, 10 or 15 laps. It'll be interesting to see if any of these drivers attempt to make a move here in the final 5 laps, or is it just going to be Verstappen and everybody else here, the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner. But it's just going to be really interesting to see what happens with the top 3 here. What the moves will be in these last 3. Can George Russell get back into the top 2? Maybe can he even get to 1? We shall see about that. Lando Norris, again, of course, is your Formula One racing points leader. He's looking to finish that off. Second place is going to get a lot of points for winning this one. So he's probably on his way to the F1 title. He doesn't need to win tonight, but, he's pretty much on his way. But Verstappen, currently first place. Lando Norris second. They race down the Las Vegas Strip here, past Paris, Las Vegas Resort and Casino, the Cosmopolitan, and the Aria, where they make that turns right around, the Aria Resort and Casino, Planet Hollywood area, And there they go, lap 44. We are 6 laps away from being done with the third annual Las Vegas Grand Prix here in the entertainment capital of the world. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell, top 3, ladies and gentlemen. Lewis Hamilton back in 10th, still not making a move. So that's your top 3 right now. We got 6 laps to go here in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Six laps to go. Five laps to go. Top 3, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell. There's your top 3. I don't think much is going to change here. I think Verstappen would have to do something pretty crazy not to finish off this race. Again, the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner. I can't see much changing here, but we'll continue to move along and see here. I just can't see a lot changing in these next 5 laps. It's pretty much all the way home now for Max Verstappen. Lando Norris just is going to want to he wants to be in second place because he wants to continue to obviously win the Drivers' Championship. Obviously would be a net of 18 points for Lando Norris on this race. Would take him to 408 points if he were to end up in this situation at 18 points. Verstappen would net 25, but he's still 42 points behind, with only a couple races left. So Lando's in very good position to win the Players' Championship this year. He just needs to keep having good performances. Looks like he's going to win that, but Verstappen trying to win his second Las Vegas Grand Prix in 3 years. Currently leading. We've got about 4 laps left in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're almost done here, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a quick one this year. There have not been any major accidents. There have not been any lap stoppages and restarts so far. We are 4 laps left in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're coming down the stretch here. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and George Russell are your top 3 drivers here at the Las Vegas Grand Prix as they race around the Las Vegas Strip. Chris Janik, CY Interview will be here to the end of this and then give you our analysis and thoughts post-show, and then we'll be done tonight. Thank you so much for joining a special edition of CY Interview live from Las Vegas in the entertainment capital of the world. Four laps to go. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell. Again, I just don't see much changing in these last 3 laps. Anything can happen, but I just don't see it at this point. Three laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell, top 3 of your Las Vegas Grand Prix. Can Lando Norris find a way to get past Max Verstappen? It'd be pretty incredible to see that, to have 3 different winners in 3 years at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. But the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner is looking good right now as he tries to finish off Lando Norris and George Russell here. Lewis Hamilton still in 10th place in the back. Doesn't look like he's going to crack the top 5 again. He'll probably finish around that area. But finishing in the top 10 for Lewis Hamilton is quite an impressive feat, given the fact that he started this race in the 19th position. He'll net 9 positions so far for this race. And of course, in 4th place still, as we've talked about all night, Kimi Antonelli, 4th place, started 17th in this race. He'll net 13 points. Congratulations to him. Could he crack the top 3? Probably not, but quite incredible right now. So, you know, we're on lap 47 of 50. We're about to be on lap 48 of 50 with 3 to go. You know, watching Verstappen here, feel like he's going to hold off these two. Question is how much these guys want to risk at this point in the season. Lando Norris has less to risk, obviously, than Verstappen. Obviously, he'd love to win every race, of course, but you know, he's thinking about that Players' Championship as well, I'm sure. Max Verstappen with the fastest lap of 1:33.895 right now, as we're in lap 48. 3 laps to go in the Las Vegas Grand Prix that are coming down the stretch here on the Las Vegas Strip. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're going to be done with this soon. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell are your top 3 right now that are staying in that firm position. We shall see how this one finishes up. Orange C1 every cat's coming over to say hi. Do you want to see Sphere? Do you want to see Sphere? Somebody wants to see Sphere. Sphere on the Las Vegas Strip, that is. So. Meow meow to you too. Lap 48, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell. Top 3. They'll be on lap 49 soon. We're on lap 49. We got 2 laps to go. Max Verstappen first, Lando Norris 2, George Russell 3. Lewis Hamilton still in 10th place. Seems like these drivers are just kind of trying to get there now. I don't think we're going to see much difference in the standings position at this point. So, Catherine Zeta-Jones is also there tonight. She's going to be doing the final waving of the flag for the final lap. Actress Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's getting in position. We're on lap 49, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 49 of 50. We're almost on the final lap of the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Here are your top 3: Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, George Russell, pretty much the same throughout. Lewis Hamilton in 10th place, net of 9. Kimi Antonelli, the biggest net of 13. They are coming down the stretch, the final lap here in Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip for the 3rd annual Las Vegas Grand Prix. Let's see what happens here. See if Lando Norris, can he catch up to Max Verstappen here on the Las Vegas Strip? Final lap. We're on the final lap. This is it. In 90 seconds, we're going to find out who ends up winning. Red Bull Racing's Max Verstappen is currently in the lead on the final lap of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Lando Norris in 2nd, George Russell in 3rd. Let's see, can Lando Norris find a way to get there? I think he's just too far behind, honestly. I think Verstappen is just going to coast to victory here. I think that's pretty much where we stand at this given moment. I think Verstappen is going to be your Formula One racing champion for the 2nd time in 3 years. Let's see how this one finishes up in a second. Literally 30 seconds away from getting that final result here as they come around the turn. Lando Norris holding on to second. George Russell holding on to third. Lewis Hamilton in 10th currently. And here they come. Run the final turns here. They're waving the flag for the finals. And Max Verstappen has won the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Team Red Bull Racing wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix for the second year of 3 years. I think people, when they look back on this race, they're going to say that this was a race of the big boys, a race of people, not very surprising. You had the top 3 best drivers. I don't think this is going to be a remembered race in Formula One racing history. There were no crashes or anything like that. So congrats to Max Verstappen for winning the 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix. That is the second win for him in 3 years in Formula One racing. No accidents in this one, but it just goes to show you how much of a pit stop matters. Lewis Hamilton takes his pit stop. He's in 5th place. He's in the pit for literally a couple of seconds, and that costs him 5 positions, and he's never able to recover. He's never able to recover, and he will finish in 10th place in this race. But congrats to Max Verstappen. He'll be celebrating tonight probably at one of the big nightclubs in town in his after party, probably at the Wynn or the such. Max Verstappen is your 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner. The final race time, about 87 minutes. They got there right under 90, probably the fastest of the 3 Las Vegas Grand Prix races of the last 3 years as well. George Russell finishes 3rd. Lando Norris still well in hand in 1st place of the Formula One Racing Players Championship with only a few races left in the Formula One racing season. So that's all I got for you on this one. We will see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Las Vegas time, NFL Live, Week 12 reaction. I've already gotten the notice that my main man, Tom, will be here, my brother from another mother. He will be joining us again for the NFL Live, and we hope to see all of you there as well. Of course, then the live and then the recap show tomorrow night, 9 p.m., and a special edition of C1 Interview Live this coming Thanksgiving Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. We're looking forward to all the stuffing and the pies and the turkeys. I'm Christianic for C1 Interview. Hope you enjoyed this special edition of C1 Interview Live from Las Vegas. Max Verstappen is your 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix winner. We will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful evening.